What is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a great week. It's an awesome week, like always in Tennessee. Wherever you're at, I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be unboxing a watch from Richard. He's my friend and colleague, watchmaker that I've referenced on this channel many a time. We've seen some of his pieces. We're going to see another one today. This one, a vintage Bulova surfboard watch. And we're going to talk about the modern iteration, can't say that word, in Quartz, and also the limited edition automatic. So if that interests you, hope you'll stick around. We'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back to this unboxing of what at this point was a mystery piece. This one straight off eBay from a seller to Richard at work. They added this beautiful box. Something that's sort of unusual for eBay to go above and beyond. Well cased in this like nice wood, I don't know, jewelry box, I guess is what you would call it. But this vintage Bulova surfboard chronograph, this is a manual wind piece with a friction bezel. This is the original one from the 70s. He got a great deal on it, aftermarket strap from, oh, my brain escapes me at the moment. Once I remember, I will mention it. But yes, he didn't plan on purchase this watch, but on a whim, went ahead and grabbed it. So if you look at the details here, you've got a 1970 version, 6mm crown that is signed. These came with unsigned and signed crowns. This one with a signed crown. So a little more rare, a little more desirable. Nice color of the dial, a little fading, a little age to that dial, as well as the bezel, but nothing too crazy, guys. These guys were very limited runs when they were first produced, and then have been used over the years and also destroyed, of course. So finding a nice one is kind of difficult. This one, the Chronograph A reference 31002. It is a Bulova DEEPSEA Chronograph A. Like I said, the 31002. Made in 1970. 20mm strap by Fossil, actually. This one is a 17 joule, 18,000 beat per minute movement. And you can see as we've wound it and got it going, you've got your sub-seconds at 9 in this surfboard, sort of at the leading edge of the surfboard. And then your small chronograph hand at 3, the secondary sub-dial. And then, of course, your main chronograph hand shaped like an arrow, at 12 in a bright red. And I really like these cigarette hands. Not used very much these days, but back in the 70s, these were very popular with their red tip and white body. Really easy to read, and then sort of reminiscent of times gone by. Like I said, you don't really see these anymore. We won't check the loom because, yet again, we just did this unboxing, but I'm sure the loom has aged to the point where it's not going to be much of a consideration. Generally, on your vintage pieces, that is the case. You can see the chronograph hand running now, the large chronograph hand. And fairly smooth sweep. You saw from the beat rate, it isn't an exceedingly high beat rate on this movement. So you do see a little jerky movement, a little bit of a tick. That is not unusual for this movement or this beat rate. But still steady, ticking away as it should, as smooth as it should be. with your sub-seconds, matching it at 9. And the sub-seconds hands sort of in the shape of sort of an old Atari tank, if you guys are old enough to know what that reference is. Atari, of course, a video game system in the 80s. They had a tank game that very much was reminiscent of this shape, the tanks were. So I really like that. Brings back a lot of memories. This one, like I said, off of eBay. eBay these days, they are doing their authentication program. So you have a little bit of security that you may not have had in the past for vintage pieces. Now, having said that, I would not rely solely on their authentication program. I would have it authenticated by an independent as well. Richard is a certified watchmaker. He can authenticate these himself. This one is genuine. These are genuine pieces, and it has been well maintained. I believe the crystal may have been polished a little bit with some Polywatch, but overall, excellent condition of this vintage eBay find. And again, very rare pieces made literally about 1 year, 1970. These pieces made with and without signed crowns. Both are correct. This one does have the signed crown, making it a little more desirable and a little more rare. So having this piece in a full, accurate vintage condition is really nice. And you can see I've aligned that bezel to 12 now. Friction bezel, which some don't like. That means it moves left and right. If you take a look here, you can see Bulova does still make these pieces, these in quartz, these with 2 different rubber straps, these, what do they call these, tropic straps. And then I have one here in a reverse dial, the black with the white surfboard. This is one of their quartz pieces on this black tropic, or actually I should say a dark navy blue tropic. This is not a friction bezel anymore. This is a unidirectional bezel. This is not an automatic anymore. This is their high beat quartz. And you can see that high beat replicates that manual wind very nicely. It has a little bit of lag between each tick, but pretty darn smooth, and actually really very much looks like that automatic. One thing you can notice that is different is your high beat quartz. The second hand is now at 3 with your chronograph subdial at 9, which is a reverse of the vintage piece. A few other detail changes on the dial and bezel as well. You have a loom pip at 12 instead of a painted pip, but overall, a really faithful representation. This one's slightly bigger. I believe this one's a 40 millimeter case, whereas the previous case was more vintage correct. I believe it was a 38 as opposed to the 40. But yeah, very nice piece. And Bulova actually makes a limited edition. They call it their, what do they call it? They call it their Archive Series Chronograph A. That's very, very reminiscent of the original, with a Swiss 27 jewel automatic movement, not a manual movement, in this very cool surfboard case. The Chronograph A by them is limited to 350 pieces, water resistant to 200 meters, and you can see it's restrictive. It's $2,900, a little over $2,900, guys. So for that, I would say get the original. This one, the model 98A251, and again, really, really rare as well. But if you can find one of these originals, guys, I would say it's the better option. The Bulova DEEPSEA 666, rated to 666 feet, circa 1970, guys. So that's our unboxing. That's our quick look at the Quartz versions from Bulova, the modern Quartz versions, and the modern Archive series limited edition automatic. What do you guys think? Would you rather have the automatic, the Quartz, or this original? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.